I
Nita.
did, bitch. I'm waiting. There we. Oh,
You
we
hit
are live.
oh, you hit the button finally. Jeez.
No, I hit
Gee.
it.
Oh my gosh. We are live twice today. Oh my gosh. What the heck is going on here? We are raging with Uncle Karl and Aunt Donna tonight. Is it aunt or aunt?
It's Aunt, bitch.
Aunt.
Aunt.
It's aunt. Aunt
Oh,
Donna.
look at this.
I'm a hick. It's Aunt.
Aunt.
Aunt Donna. Uncle Karl. Oh my gosh. It's 24/7, folks. Just how long is this story, Uncle Karl? We don't know. But, we're going to have a lot of fun this evening. So make sure that you tune in and hit the subscribe button. We are simulcasting to Geek Insider as well as Rage and AVC on YouTube. If you're watching from Twitter, make sure that you head over to our YouTube channel if you want to interact, because you know you want to.
Wherever you are, go to our YouTube channel. Quit monologuing. Let's get the show on the road.
Fine. We'll be right back after our intro. Jeez. Uncle Karl and Aunt Donna. Raging with episode 73. Holy cow. How'd we get that far? Here we go.
Raging.
Welcome, everybody. I promise I won't be monologuing. We've got Uncle Karl and Aunt Donna. Aunt Donna.
Aren't we special?
We are special. And we are going to be raging with them for the next hour. So make sure that you tune in. I'm going to drop the card and say hello.
Hello.
Oh, my gosh. We've got you live streaming right now. Recorded right now. This almost never happens.
No. They're usually more careful than that.
I know.
That's what he said.
Well, you know what? I mean, you guys have, between the two of you, a ton of books. We'll be talking about that. But I want to talk about, like, the stuff that you guys do. I mean, we've been connected online for, almost 2 years now?
Yeah.
And, actually broke bread with you guys and had to move soon after. True story. Not because of them, I promise. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but we
Are
can
you
spin
kidding?
that.
She brings us home and tells her husband, I brought the axe murderers with me. And I'm like, I'm not an axe murderer. It says so on my shirt.
It really did.
Yeah.
Yep, so we broke bread, and maybe about a week or two later, I moved. So you shall never find me again. But, that was a lot of fun.
Don't count us out.
Oh.
20 bucks in the tip jar. I'll give you your address. I'll dox you.
Anita, you're no good. You're no good.
I know.
So, and of course, you've got the secret group for the not so easily offended and stuff like that. I mean, come on, tell us what you guys are up to.
You want to know how that secret group started? Have I told that story?
I don't
That's
think
all-
so. I don't think
That's
I know
all his
that one.
thing.
At work, I used to send out funny emails, My boss would send out, okay, now here's the new program, and here's how you operate it, and here's how you get to from this field to that field. And people would go, can you explain that in English? I say, sure. And then I'd write a very humorous email about it, okay? And after a while, they said, please don't send those out to everybody, okay? We've had complaints, okay? They're too funny or whatever,
Carl
so I said,
Witzman, report to HR. Carl
Mhm.
Witzman, report to HR.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's the song
And
of
all
my people.
sexual harassment classes were a waste because, they told us don't make sounds like animals, and we were like, what, like owls or something? Hoot, hoot. I don't know what they were talking about, but anyway, I learned some stuff. But unfortunately, I didn't learn my lesson, so I decided that I would do a secret humor group at work, and people could, say, okay, I want the plain email from your boss, or I want your secret humor email. And so when I retired, I decided I'm going to start a secret humor group on Facebook. And so far, Mr. Zuckerberg hasn't found most of us yet.
He's found a bunch of you though.
Oh, he's gotten
Right.
me off of your fucking page twice
Oh yeah.
now.
Oh yeah. They watch it, but they just allow us to, I don't know, maybe it's charity. They allow us to continue. Or maybe it's a concentration of all the people, you know, they know where
There's
we are.
so much evil, they don't know what to do. Look at these
Should
repeat
we ban
offenders.
them all? Or should we just let them go for a while?
Well, I know the
Look.
one time Nita was banned because she said that hot sauce was going to kick my ass.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Facebook
It
is
got
ass.
sillier than that this week.
Yes, it did.
Keisha
Acuff got a flag.
of Acuff Creations. You know how when she comes on your show, she'll say, "Hello, beautiful people."
Yeah,
She got dinged for that.
really?
Because saying hello beautiful now is bad.
Oh, fuck them.
It's
Wow.
Is that what?
Hello, beautiful
Yeah.
people. I'm
Well,
offended.
because
How dare you?
people were, PMing each other saying hello beautiful.
And
You know,
then
as
Well,
a-
that's
in
what
trouble.
in a PM, not in a fucking chat. In a PM, hello beautiful
Yeah.
means next one is DTF. Hey, have you ever seen a penis before? Like,
Yeah, I know.
like that's
Yeah.
how that goes. Okay, man, hello beautiful in my fucking inbox, please.
Yeah.
All right, so why Facebook, you guys? Why? Why?
Because we're old.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was the thing when we joined.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was a place where you could start a group and you could actually have it where you could invite people that, you know, were like-minded or weird and or both, and have them in there, you know, and you could have some fun. And then there were other groups, you know, that I was already in. So, you know, it was kind of like, oh, okay, this is a natural thing to do. I have a Facebook channel which has, I think, 12 subscribers. Don't subscribe to it. It's boring.
Don't subscribe.
Don't.
Carl, that's not what we do here. We're always like, hit the
Oh.
button.
Someday I will do a drunk psychology show on YouTube.
I'm all over that.
And when I do that, I'll say, you know, I'll probably still say, don't subscribe to this channel, please. Because the psychology will be, people will, you know.
That's right. Reverse psychology. Love it. Nita warned us though. She said, stay away from the psychology stuff.
Oh, okay. Then I can't talk about how I got into this writing and self-publishing then.
Oh no, you can totally do it.
Oh.
I don't care.
Good. Oh,
Meredith,
goodness.
please. What the hell's going on at your
Facebook
house?
police.
It's not me, I swear it. They're not after me.
They're coming for Donna.
It happens every time I get online.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they're after Donna.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They
This-
still haven't
this
found
what-
her because they went right by.
This is what happens when you live on one of two major streets in Danville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was at you
This-
guys' house? I thought it was at Meredith's.
No, it's right out here.
Meredith gets the
No.
sirens all the time too.
No,
I
that
Well,
besides being a main street of Danville is also Illinois State Route 1 behind me out here. That's what that street is.
No, we don't have that kind of excitement around here. As excited as
Oh.
it gets is the occasional shake, and it's like, oh, somebody's meth lab blew up.
Mm,
But it's usually in the distance. But however, what was it, a couple weeks ago? The neighbor across the street got swatted. We had like
Ooh.
low flying helicopters and everything.
Oh,
The kids
man.
were freaking out. They're like, look at that. I'm like, get the fuck inside.
Yeah, really.
Don't be white about this. Get inside.
Yeah. It's not a tornado, kids. Get
Oh,
your.
okay,
That's
okay.
right.
You got jokes on my show. Okay.
Because that's how we are in the Midwest. We're out there looking at it like, oh yeah.
What else? I mean, you know.
so Aunt Donna,
Yes,
what the heck have you been up to?
about 5'7".
Wow, you're tall. I just thought
Yeah.
you'd be short. I don't know why I thought you'd be short.
Name of
the Father.
Mm-hmm. Do tell us
This,
about it.
this is my fourth book in the Hunter's Ridge series. And as usual, Carly's in trouble. BJ's ex-girlfriend comes back to town with a baby that she claims is hers. And
Or
just how
his.
great, or his.
Yeah. I hope it's hers.
With this woman, who knew, you know? She and the mother ends up dead. So we're just wondering, how crazy did Carly go, and did she really do it? Because if you read any of my other Hunter's Ridge, Carla's a crack shot and not afraid to pull her gun.
But what else? What else have you been writing and sharing with the world?
Yeah, what else have you written here
I've
recently?
not been. I've been reading a little bit of a dry spell. That's Food Watches. That
A
came
little
out
bit of a
last.
dry spell. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's going
What?
on there?
I have a book that's been fighting me for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that can go, and finally got a little bit of a, oh, no wonder I should have done this instead of that. And so now it's kind of, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I have people saying that I
Books
need to
that
make yeah, I have people that say I need to make a sequel to Dragons and Wizards, and I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, give me a plot because I don't know what I want to do with that. And then Gotta Love Best Friend, she says, well, you know, this could happen. I'm like, oh crap. But before I do that, I have to write a story about her cat Sam, because my little nephew wants Sam to have her own story.
How old are
So,
they?
Sam, the cat's about 14 and Wyatt is 9.
Oh, dude, if he's 9, you should totally script him a comic book.
Yeah,
Be cool.
but
They don't really do comic books.
So
these days.
and
that's the whole point in this marriage here. Fucking mind your business, Meredith. Don't question me. I'm just
I'm
I'm just
not
kidding.
needed anymore.
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
go-
no. You're desperately.
Yeah.
You cunt. Oh wow.
Yeah, gone again.
Don't think I won't leave.
Well, you know,
And fucking
This-
and see.
This was the book that I
right
think
here.
that boy's mom was reading
Oh,
when she said he couldn't read it.
I think it was Woodstock.
Was it Woodstock?
Woodstock Dreams, which is just as, yeah.
Raunchier, if not as raunchy as the seduction.
And yet his mom told me it didn't have enough sex in it. And I'm like, a sex scene each chapter was not enough.
His mom said that.
Yeah.
Does that make you
I'm
uncomfortable
telling you,
inside?
there's something
Hey,
that I
it-
love about writing. Like
My
romance
best friend
and
is
erotica.
my best friend is my evil twin, so that shouldn't surprise you.
Mm.
But she had to take him to the laundromat with her one time, and she was sitting there reading, and of course you know how it happens. So a lady came up and asked her what she was reading, and little Wyatt pipes up and said, my aunt wrote that book, but I can't read it.
Oh.
So I guess she's been letting him read parts that he can read.
Yeah, watch it, Grant. Read it
Oh,
slowly.
Grant, yeah, it's not dirty. It's, in fact, there's even it's really cool shower scene in there. It's all nice, clean sex.
Take
If it's
your
good-
medicine, Grant, before you read that.
hmm
I'm glad you're feeling better, Grant. And there's Jody and Willow.
Mhm.
Yep. Good evening. Good evening. So when you said that you were kind of struggling with the next one, writer's block is kind of a thing for a lot of people.
Except
And
see,
from the
deniers.
sounds of it,
And
Aunt
see,
Donna,
Carl doesn't believe in it.
Oh,
See-
fuck you then. Like, I just told my husband that today. We got in this exact discussion, and he feels the same way Carl does. He thinks it's bullshit. And
well,
I'm like,
okay, so Aunt Donna, it sounds like you're a total pantster then when it comes to writing,
Oh,
or do you actually, like outline and
I haven't outlined since high school English. Besides, I've got these
Uncle Karl crazy.
characters. I'm that person who's got these characters sitting on here going, yeah, I'd say, no, wait a minute, I wouldn't say that. Have me say this. But I decided probably the worst thing you could do was to stop at Carl or I'll come back there. I have you ever heard Helen Reddy's song, Angie Baby?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Angie, baby, she's a special lady.
I based a song. I'm basing a story on that,
Yeah.
and Angie was not cooperative. I should have known that a serial killer would not be cooperative, but I finally figured it out. Sitting in the eye doctor chair of all things. Good thing there wasn't anybody in the room at the time when I went, oh, that's what I need to do. Okay, the door's shut. I get in trouble a lot in public by saying stuff about
just random things. We haven't been in trouble necessarily because we tell our minders we're doing research. That's it. You know.
Yeah, we say, mind your business, Carl. And his name really is Carl.
His name is
okay.
Carl. Not Uncle Carl, but
No,
you know,
not
the other
Uncle
Carl.
Carl.
The one
The
that's
other
tuning
Carl.
in. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
when you're talking to somebody and you don't realize there's somebody listening in, like in the book he showed, Who Watches, the dead person in there was frozen stiff because it's in the Transylvanian Alps. And I had to figure out how to defrost him to do an autopsy. And that was back when I had to actually go to the library. And I'm sitting there with all these books going through, and he's doing his thing someplace else. And he comes back over and he says, how's it going? And I look up and without thinking going, I don't know how long that Jan's body has to thaw before I can cut into it. And we hear this scrabbling at the end of the table. And I look down and here's this nice Oriental couple grabbing all their books together and moving quickly to another table.
Can't even take her to the library, folks.
Oh my goodness. And so Carl, what is it about like what do you have against writer's block, man?
Oh, I don't have anything against it. I don't know that it's so much a block as writer's procrastination.
Oh, do
go
tell.
mm,
Do
mm,
tell.
yeah,
Because
please,
I've had it for the last couple months. I know what I need to do, and I know I can do it, but I've been putting it off and putting it off. But I don't
But
know
are
why.
you picking up your pen and paper? Are you sitting at your fucking keyboard? Are you sitting there trying, struggling, and you'll get a line or two out, and it's like, fuck, that's not what I wanted to say, and you just keep going over and over.
I can have that too. I don't call that writer's block.
That's writer's
exactly.
block for me.
Yeah, for
Getting
me,
stuck on a paragraph for 4 fucking months.
when people just like stare at the blank
Meredith.
screen and go, I don't have any idea what to write, you know, that's BS. I'm sorry. But what you're describing, Nita, is actually trying to work out the problem. And sometimes you can't do it while you're sitting there. Sometimes, like Aunt Donna says, you know, you're at the eye doctor and all of a sudden you get this idea that, oh, hey, I know what to do.
You see that?
Turn
For
to
a
your
lot
first
of
page right
people-
now, Meredith.
For a lot of people, that is the scariest thing
Yeah.
that they will encounter is a blank page. Doesn't matter if you're an artist, a musician, a writer. A blank page is one of the scariest
Let me see the
things.
first page in your book.
The first page.
No. First white page. Turn.
Oh no. There's
Do
like absolutely nothing in here.
Exactly. JD sent these to
Nothing.
us to get us going, and look at us. We are pathetic.
Oh,
Sad.
that's why you have to either draw a doodle or write a word of some sort. The weirdest word you can think of on that first page. And then that's not a blank page anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's not quite as scary.
one of the things we used to have a writers group with a lot of beginning writers, and one of the things we told them was, even if you're sitting there writing, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, and just keep it that, and all of a sudden you'll notice, oh, you're writing something else.
Mhm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Just as
and
long as you're writing.
When I
something.
do that, it is really disturbing.
Nita,
Well, we need
If
that.
you're
in the world.
disturbing.
No, I'm serious though. Like, I'll read that shit and I'm like, okay, I do scare myself.
Yeah. I've scared myself before too, Nina.
Oh yeah, you should have seen him when he finished the Mad Gasser.
Oh yeah.
He was like, ooh. And I have to admit, I did that too.
Oh, why is that off like that? That
Why
should
is
be
that
green.
orange? It's supposed to be
It
green.
should be green. It's green on my end. I don't know what I did. But yeah, that's about a guy who creeps up on women and gasses them. And while they're unconscious, he steals some of their underwear, and then he wears the underwear. And some of the online research I did on that was disturbing
bet.
enough.
Oh,
But still to this day, I will get YouTube video suggestions of, would you like to watch this man in high heels walk? No, thank you. That book's done. Thank you. I'm done
my
with that
goodness.
book.
No, there was one time
so
where I
many
was writing.
inappropriate jokes.
I had been working on this one particular chapter, and I kept writing myself into a corner, and I would try to edit it, and I would come at it at all different kinds of ways, and it felt like writer's block. And then and it was just, I suffered through this stupid thing for about a month, just every day trying to write past this thing.
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted to get to, but I couldn't seem to get there. And then I was sleeping, and in the middle of the night, I just woke up and I sat straight up and I was like, you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
And literally that chapter that I'd suffered through for a month was, as soon as I got rid of it, the story began to flow again. And I was amazed. I was just like, oh my God. But I also felt horrible because I was getting rid of so many of my words. It's like, what are you going to do?
You can use them later in a different order.
This is what Grant says. That's what we learned in art school. If you sit and stare at a blank sheet of paper, it will stay blank forever. You start drawing and sketching, and eventually an idea will come up. I don't know if he farts on them, Grant. I've never had a lack of ideas. Sometimes I don't know where those ideas are going. Yeah.
Yeah.
That can be frustrating also.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
Really, that sounds like bragging to me.
In the grand scheme of things, being that you guys do your research and stuff, you have a love of writing and things, is there that great American novel in you, something that you've been wanting to do, wanting to work on?
I'm sorry, but I absolutely hate the words great American novel.
Thank you. God, that was so cringeworthy.
Because
I had to ask the question.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did. But and growing up, I've had people throw that word at me, and then inevitably bring up Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, yeah.
Who to me was the most fucking boring writer ever. And I've read 2 of his books, so I gave him a chance.
Yeah.
No, never again. I don't get rid of my books. I got rid of those books.
Wow.
So, but what is the next big project then for you?
Donna, what's your next big project?
I'm trying to finish Angie, baby.
Okay, that's in the same series as the one you just finished. One.
Correct.
Okay. But it probably won't be the
I have
next
this
one published.
nice bank between my publishing and me. Name of the Father is the 5th one.
Yeah.
5th or 4th? 5th one in a series that already has 8 books written in it.
Yeah.
Beth and Hill, the other crime drama series that I write, has 3 published and out of 7 already written. So I guess I'm being lazy. I'm not working that hard at it anymore.
You're resting on your laurels. You're a semi-retired writer.
Exactly.
Well, what about you, Uncle Karl?
Well, people did not like how the Mad Gasser cheerleader ended. So they have pushed me to write a sequel where he gets his just desserts. And so that is in the works now. That's where I was procrastinating because I did not want to go back into his mind again. Okay. But I had to. And he's worse now than he was when he did the first stuff in the first book. he's worse. He's a worse human being, I guess, is what I want to say. So I've had to create new evil for him. Then an idea came to me, and because the Mad Gasser really was a real person that was in a small town here in Illinois, and I just fictionalized the whole thing. Well, another idea came to me, and I'm starting work on it, and it is about a mystery man in Australia who was found dead on the beach. And there is a bunch, there are a bunch of clues all over the place. None of them fit any of the scenarios anybody has thought of so far. But I think I might have figured out a possible scenario that might work and a reason why that man was dead on the beach. So I'm going to fictionalize that next. So I'm working on two at once.
I don't know how you do that, but one of the things that I know that I personally struggle with research. I love research, but a lot of times when I'm working on a book that requires research, I get lost in it. And then before you know it, you get down this rabbit hole and it's like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I working on? Why do I need all this information? You know, there's only so much backstory that your reader needs. Your reader doesn't even need like a smidgen of what you're researching.
Have you ever traumatized yourself with your own research?
Often.
Traumatized? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, I thought my mom and daddy made me need therapy. Nope.
Well, no, you know, sometimes I traumatize poor Pat, you know.
Yeah, I thought the Mad Gasser cheerleader would probably traumatize most of my friends who read it. There are a couple people I refuse to sell it to, just because I know it would trigger them in some way. Yeah, it's kind of scary in some aspects and odd in some others. And there's a part in there where you're almost cheering for the bad guy and you catch yourself and go, wait a minute. No, I don't want that to happen. So it's a weird little book. And the next one will be, like I say, maybe even weirder. Who knows?
Well, I love talking with the two of you about your writing styles because they are so completely different. Do you kind of bounce ideas off of each other? Do you help edit each other's work? I mean, what is that like? Is it World War III or
no,
do you kind of have an agreement here?
We're both rather reasonable people, so you know I edit and publish her works, and she's pretty happy with it most of the time, I think. I make suggestions. That's what I do. I will take her manuscript, and in yellow, I put in all my suggestions, and I say, now, you know, grain of salt, you don't have to take any of them. You just turn in the manuscript when you're done looking at those, and we'll print it. I don't even look at it again after she's done, unless she says, I want you to look at this chapter, and I'm like, okay. On the Mad Gasser, I was going back and forth between the guy's childhood and his present. And I thought, you know, every other chapter was, you know, and it made sense because he had a childhood nickname. And when he was called that childhood nickname, you knew it was his childhood. And when he became an adult, he said, no, I'm not going to call that name anymore. Donna says, no, that doesn't make any sense at all. You got to put dates on there. And that was the smartest thing because, pardon me, the crimes that he commits, it's important that the dates are in there so you can know, you know, oh, this happened on the 4th and this happened on the 5th. Those are important to know because the first crime reported in the book is not the first time he's done it. It was just the first reported time he'd done it. He had done it before, but the people were too afraid to talk about it until some brave woman came forward and said, this is my story. And then, oh yeah, that happened to me as well. And so that was important to put those dates in there. So she really helped a lot with that suggestion. So if I was mad about that, that would have been silly because it would have ruined the whole book.
So now we know that Aunt Donna is a total pantster. Are you the planner then?
Somewhat, yes.
Somewhat?
Yeah. I've got all these notes on a piece of paper.
I was about to say he took notes for a fucking living, Meredith. Fuck.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, when I first started out, okay, I did like, Shape Up Your Memory, which is a book about how to improve your memory. And then I did a book about I did another book between that and the other. And I wrote the book about Munzie. Yeah.
Geriatric Pokemon. Look at you.
Geriatric Pokemon, if that's what you want to call it.
Be nice.
Nice.
But I also wrote a how-to book on how to use Audacity, which was a computer program so you can edit sound files.
I love Audacity.
Yes, it's fantastic. But there was no book about how to do it. I was amazed. I was like, I really am kind of lost here. And I made my own notes as I went along because, hey, I worked in IT, So, okay, I'll make a note about that.
Oh, my God. You're just as nerdy as they come.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I was a counselor for many, many years, and then the opportunity came to go to IT, and I'm like, oh yeah, get me away.
Wait a minute. Okay, so how did that go? Like, how did that transition happen?
Okay, that's a good question, Nita. They had introduced computers to our thing. We have now, instead of taking notes on paper, we would put the notes in the computer. And so they said, well, we need some of you to train the others. And there's 10 of you that know enough about computers. You could train the others. And so they sent us to special training, and then we trained everybody else in the entire state of Illinois. And then they said, as new people get hired, we need somebody to train them. And I said, please. So when the time came, they said, we are going to hire 4 of you for the entire state. And we want you to be the support people for these folks. So we'll give you an IT position, and you can help all these other counselors, which was just about like working with the mentally ill, which I did before. Okay,
I know. First thing that came to my mind was like, have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah. If you've never seen a counselor enraged because they can't get the page to come up on their screen, oh my gosh, it's psychiatric. So yeah, I did that for 15 years, maybe. I don't know.
At least.
Yeah. So I was into this, making notes and writing things down and all these sort of things. So and I had written fiction before, but now, of course, I'm writing true to life sort of things. I really had to have those facts because, if I went in and said something about the mad gasser and people said that didn't happen, I'd be like, oh crap. Busted, and especially on this next one. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Somerton man. He was the guy that was found dead on the beach in Australia. It's a very convoluted case, and I have to know every little sniggly detail about that, because if I write this up and somebody in Australia or whatever says, no, that's not right, then I'll be like, I'll have to write a sequel now to that one. But I've got the notes.
Just add some different things. It's like based off of, or like completely fictionalize it.
Oh yeah, most of it will be because it'll. Yeah, but there are.
But there'll be somebody who recognizes the. That's a lot like what happened here.
Yeah, and those people need some facts in there to make it seem reasonable. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a lot of research. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of notes, and there's a lot of this has to come before that. And,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we kind of blew past our 30-minute mark, and we're going to get to Grant's question in just a second after we take a quick break. If you guys don't know Catch the Craze, you want to make sure that you head over there. They are awesome. Here we go.
He killed his father.
That was the wrong one. Nita, leave the buttons alone. I got
it. It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at? A Catch the Craze podcast.
What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you going to do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the craze. Making moves on your own. Catch the craze. On your grind in the streets. Catch the craze. Join the movement. Catch the craze.
That's right. You want to head over to Sam and George and give them a little bit of love. They are on a race to 1,000 subscribers on their channel. I don't know why they're not there yet. They've got some good stuff, really good content, great interviews and stuff like that, and a lot of fun. As are you two. I wish you guys would get on like StreamYard and, give the rest of the world some love. I mean, what's up with that?
I'm shy.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We had a show for a while in the secret group. We had a show called Uncle Karl's Drunken Rant, and I would just tell jokes because when I retired, I wanted to become a comedian, and then the plague hit, and so
it was Karl's fault.
Yeah, so I thought, well, okay, I'll do it online. So I had Uncle Karl's Drunken Rant, and I tell jokes, and it was like. You would tell a joke and then you'd stare at a blank screen. And then eventually a comment would come up that says, oh, that was funny. But, it was like, yeah, this is not.
That's painful because there's no timing there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's like, so then I thought, well, I'll have her as a guest one night. Oh, my God. Every show after that, it was like, when's Aunt Donna coming back? When's Aunt Donna coming back? And I said, okay, you're part of the show now. And we did that for a while, and then we decided we would open it up and let people, because they wanted to talk to us live. And so we said, okay, well, we'll do that one night. And since then, everybody has said every Friday night we want one of those green rooms because we just want to talk to you live. And we said, well, we're not going to record this because this kind of crap does not belong on the internet.
There will be no proof.
No proof.
Oh, yes. I mean, some of the stuff.
Although you guys are guilty of taking a few screenshots.
Oh, yeah. We take
Him.
screenshots. Look at that, though. For tonight, that's all gone.
Oh,
of course,
no.
it's all in my cup right here. And I poured it right in my Sprite. I mean, no class. I'm drinking.
Yeah. Water.
So,
And he's the city boy opposed to the farmer's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I always drink out of a glass, and he's pointing in his can.
Whatever. I don't have my fish girl to say whatever to you tonight.
So
I had something I could tell you.
Now, Grant did ask a question earlier for you, Uncle Karl, and that is, do you prefer being psych or IT?
Wow. There were advantages to both.
Wouldn't it be kind of like, I don't know, a little bit of both either way? I mean, it's kind of like a bartender in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Because I would hear stories as a counselor, stories that would make your hair fall out,
and it
turn it white. Yeah. And or sit across the desk from somebody who's telling you, I was abducted last weekend by the aliens again. Really? Okay, let me write this down. Okay. So I've seen and heard just about everything you could probably want to. And then as an IT, I would see and hear other things. It'd be like looking at someone's keyboard going, ew, what the hell? Oh, that moved. Okay. No. You're getting a new keyboard today. Guess what?
And I had fun whether he was being a psychologist or not. Or I always called him an it. Well, I got to go to conventions with him when he was a psychologist. And of course, privacy, I couldn't know the names of his customers. So we'd be out at the mall or something, and all of a sudden he'd disappear because a customer was coming down. But there was one time he says, you don't need to know why, but follow that woman through this store and then report back to me. She was supposedly an agoraphobic.
That's some underhanded stalker crap, isn't it?
She was supposed to be an agoraphobic who was collecting money for staying home because she couldn't be out in public. I followed her for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she talked with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So she kind of got kicked out of the program because of that. That was fun. But then when he was in it, they were so glad he was going to different places that it was okay for me to go along, and I'd get a free night in the hotel and breakfast and lunch and stuff out. So I liked that. I kind of missed it when the governor said, "Oh, you can't go anyplace anymore." Like, you fucker.
Yeah.
That's what we all said.
Time to get out of state then.
Well, yeah, and the guys were retiring. There were 4 of us. The 2 guys upstate, closer to Chicago, both retired. So I was covering all of northern Illinois, which was a bit of much. But my boss at the time said, "Yeah, he can handle it. He's good." Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, they finally told us, no, you can do everything from your office. You can remote control their computers from, your office in Danville. And I'm like, yeah, where's the fun in that? And
well, actually, before that, they said you can travel, but you can't use your own vehicle anymore.
Oh, God.
And they would only okay an economy car for him. Carl is 6'2". Yeah. He went once and said, that ain't happening again if I have to pay my way to use my own car.
Yeah, I had a compact car. And when I got to Springfield, finally, I opened the door and I'm thinking, I can't get out of this car.
Right. It's like climbing out of a clown car.
I had to lower my butt onto the pavement and then drag my legs out of the car. And I was like, this is the last time I'm renting one of these cars. Thank you, Governor. No, thank you. It was bad. I was stuffed in there good. And I was like, no, I'll just pay my own gas, whatever,
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? Pat is 6'4". You met him. He has the same problem. There are some cars he just cannot get into or out of once he's in.
Yeah.
When we would go car hunting, and they had a big car show out at the airport. So we started at the beginning of the line, and this salesman comes up. He's going to sell, and Carl doesn't talk to him. Gets in one car, gets out, gets in another, gets out, and finally he gets in one that he doesn't hit his head on. And he says, "We'll take this car." And the salesman's like, don't you want to drive it or something? And I said, no, but I want to see under the hood because farmer's daughter back then, I could do cars.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was just concerned about the fact that I'd be getting in and out of this car and I banged my head every damn day. So no, thank you. No.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with that Pat and I have. He's 6'4", I'm 5'2". So, the seating is never right. We never fit exactly, like we have to, so like that's a major consideration, especially if you have a one vehicle household.
Which we now.
Yeah.
That's the one thing though I miss about the big ass truck that we had, because it had 2 positions on it in memory settings.
Oh, I would fucking love that. Our Suburban had that. No, this one does not.
It also had heat your ass seats, which I miss.
Oh God,
yeah.
Like it gets nice and warm, and you gotta take a little detour down a dirt road.
Again, Carl's a town boy. He doesn't know anything about going down a gravel road. On the other hand,
road riding for the fuck of it.
No, on the other hand know every back road in Vermilion County personally.
See, I don't. I have a horrible sense of direction. I get lost every fucking time, and it's fucking great because I have found some freaky ass shit on some country road rides, especially at night.
I used to do that when I was
the fucking
geocaching.
leper colony one time. I was like, this might not be a good idea, yo. Maybe we should turn around.
Yeah. When I was geocaching, you know, I'd find all kinds of stuff, and you go off road, and you think, I've got a GPS, I'm fine. It was a little handheld GPS in those days, you know, and you know, some of them didn't even have all the roads on them, so you'd be like looking at it, going, okay.
No,
I
GPS always got me lost. They suck.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys come to Louisiana, we're gonna rent a van and go joyriding.
Oh my gosh. No, it's one of those things where my husband loves it. Now people think because, you know, I say I'm from New York, I'm from upstate New York. We had more cows and corn and apple orchards than anything else, you know? And so my husband loves to go on I call them dog rides. I can't stand it because I like to get from one destination to the other. If I've got to go out, it's because I have a task to do, right? But he'll go out and I'm like, where are we going?
That's a journey. That's a fucking journey.
He goes out and I'm like, where are we going? And he's like, this way. And for me, it's a dog ride. So I have my head out the window. I'm like,
okay, you're talking to two people who took 7 hours to go to Cincinnati to go to a con because we took all the back roads instead of driving only 5 hours if we'd have taken the interstate.
Yeah, so, we took the back way into Florida. That was a fucking 12-hour ride.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a very beautiful ride after you got out of Alabama.
I think part of mine was because my mom was such a wild and reckless and fast driver. I hope my sister's not watching this show. But anyway,
we're not that popular.
She would scare us. And I remember one time waking up. I was sleeping in the back seat as a teenager, I think. And I look up into the face of this Ohio state trooper, and he says, "Ma'am, do you know you're going 95?"
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, she was a scary driver. So now, once she passed, yeah, I'm going to tell that story. Once she passed, she was cremated, and my sister came up to me at the burial and said, "Here's a little urn. It's got some."
Threw her out a window hauling ass.
She says,
"No.
This is some of mom's ashes." Okay. I said, "Okay." Didn't particularly want the little urn, but okay. I put it in that place down in your door, you know, where your cup or whatever sits there. I put it down there, and I thought later on I'm gonna sneak back and bury it, you know, with the rest of her remains. But I didn't. It's still there. And every time I turn the corner and that thing goes boom, boom, boom. Hey, Mom. She did that to me. Okay. She did that to me, my young life. So
Dad goes with me everywhere. Okay.
There you go. That's the same one.
Yeah.
The same one. Yeah.
The same one. Yeah. And if he doesn't say that, I hear
oh no.
That is just next level stuff, man.
Yeah. See, we're sick, Nita. We're really sick.
I've never loved somebody so much that I'd want to keep any. That's just asking to be haunted or some shit.
I already told her. I said when I die, I'm getting cremated. I'm like, I don't care if you flush me down the toilet. I really don't care.
I am for my own amusement. And if you die soon, I'm gonna drop a deuce behind you. I would be upset. We got stuff to do. You got to take care of yourself.
Oh my goodness!
Hey,
I'm working on it.
His mom already tried to pull me into the grave with her the day we had the burial.
What?
They never liked each other, so yeah. But my brother was like, you know, come on, everybody has to put a little dirt in there, you know. So Donna goes up, and I don't know if you put any dirt in there or kicked it in or whatever, but.
And I said, "Take that, you old bitch,"
under her breath, and so
I turned away.
Wow.
Go ahead, tell the rest of it.
I turned away, and I got maybe 2 steps, and I feel this tug on my shirt, and I started, and people going, "Oh, she stumbled." No, you don't stumble backwards when you're walking forwards.
No.
I felt the tug. Fortunately, my guardian ancestor was there because I felt a hand on my back that kept me from falling.
That is wild.
She was going to drag you down with her.
Yeah.
You're
She
coming
never
with
did
me,
like
bitch.
you. Yeah, she never did
Well,
like you, but
yeah.
Well,
I
I mean
would. Yeah.
that's great. I mean, do you have more stories like spooky stories and things where,
she does.
I mean, you guys are in a really old house. Do you
Mhm.
have things that go bump in the night?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Supposedly there are 2 young children ghosts in the house. That's what a previous owner told us. Never heard them. I have an ancestor that follows me. He's been with me all my life, and I've actually seen him. And the strange thing is, when he presents himself to me, he looks like Carl.
Oh, wow.
But it's been times when Carl was not even in the house. I mean, I was sitting here, I can see down the hallway, but I can't see one little corner here. And I thought I saw Carl come across like he's coming down into my office, except he didn't. And I go and look around so I can see all the way down the hallway there, and there's nothing there. He just come across and then disappeared.
Mm.
They
Very
speak
And I,
to you
yeah,
too.
I've heard. We used to have a roommate who called me Carly, and when both of them were gone, sometimes I would hear Carl's voice going, Donna, or I would hear Dumbass's voice going, Carly, and they were not here in the house at all.
Interesting.
But I've been with him. I call him George so long that it doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
And I use dowsing rods. I have spoken with him through dowsing rods. That's how I learned he's one of my Italian ancestors, which is kind of strange because I'm only 11% Italian. I figured he'd be either my Celtic or my Scandinavian because that's like 80 some percent.
Mm-hmm.
But no, and I said, oh, so I should call you Georges instead of George. And it would be cross this for yes and apart for no. And they went like, no.
Wow.
Wow. Very
It was
cool.
really cool.
But Carl, with the psychology of things and usually steeped in the reality of things,
Mm-hmm.
are you like hogwash?
Yeah.
Oh, I've told her you're nuts. Yeah.
Well,
We need to start our own secret club then, Aunt Donna, because I've had crazy shit happen.
The Ghost Club. You should do that, dear. Start that.
Nita totally wants to take me on like the cemetery tour of Louisiana.
No, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
And not the
that
ones
would
you
be
see
neat.
on TV. Not the
That
ones
would
you
be
see on-
neat. I probably would not hear anything or be able to talk to anybody because at one time they did a haunted ghost tour of our local Fisher Theater, which is where Dick Van Dyke got his start. And that's where I started with the dowsing rods. The group says, why don't you use the dowsing rod? So I'm asking questions based on what they had found out and not getting any answers. And then all of a sudden it's like, are you the entity that I called George? And I said, yes. Like, okay. This is very interesting, but these other people would like to speak to the other spirits here. Can we talk to, can I talk to them? Like, no. So we finally agreed on he would speak for them and answer these other people's questions. It was really cool.
Yeah, he was bossy.
Protective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask you both a question here because Aunt Donna, you said you're kind of semi-retired. Uncle Karl, you are.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, the last 2 years we've all kind of felt that feeling of, I guess, retirement. Things have changed. Things, we do things differently and stuff like that. A lot of people have not taken well to that. But you guys seem to be doing pretty good. I mean, what have been some of your coping mechanisms, or is this just hey, this is great. This is how life should be anyway.
Well, that, yes. But I saw this in my brother, Meredith. It's good you mentioned it because, you know, he retired from our local police force and then got 2 other part-time jobs on other small town police forces. Then he got a job selling security, selling alarms to somebody. And then he got another job after that. And he just does not have any hobbies. He has no other interests. And so to him, life is working and making money. And that's great if that's what you like to do. But
if he could make money.
Well, yeah,
Well, money is
that
nice.
helps too. Money helps. But, you know, for us, we have enough hobbies and we have enough interests that there's always something for us to do. I mean, you know, I will not have enough time to write all the things I need to write. I never have enough time to listen to shortwave radio. I never have enough time to Muncie, you know, and all these things. So for me, being away from work is like, great. Now I can pursue all these interests I have. I think a lot of people need to develop more interests and hobbies away from their work so that when they have all this downtime, which you will have when you're 65 or whatever.
Even empty nest syndrome when the kids start going away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nita can't wait.
Now,
good night. Bye.
Number one, and I am the first person to admit it, I am lazy. So doing nothing, yeah. But I have horrendous allergies. And most of them farm related. and for one thing, my mother was told that I needed to be in a dust-free environment, and she just laughed at the doctor because we lived on a farm in a stucco house that was just crumbling around us on a gravel road.
Oh,
across from a gravel pit. I spent in 10 years, I was in the hospital 13 times because of my allergies.
Might as well just kept a hole dug for you out back just in case.
Yeah. So, you know, I spent a lot of time alone. My brothers were way older than I. You know, by the time I could have done anything with them, they were teenagers and running after girls. So I learned real early to, you know, entertain myself. And of course, I had books. I was that child who, with the Scholastic Books Club, you know, the teacher would pass a book to this child, or 2, maybe 3 to that one, and then give me the rest of the box. Because my mother always made sure that I got whatever books I wanted from them. She always made sure that I had pencil and paper at home. She bought me a child's typewriter when I was like 9 or 10 years old.
Nice.
She was always encouraging me to do that. So by the time I retired 30 years ago, I was used to not doing anything. And, you know, I put in my time, and it's not as much time as Carl did, but it, you know, when you can entertain yourself, and that's one thing that you need to learn, not to rely on somebody else, not to rely on the TV, but entertain yourself, then it's easy to sit here and do nothing.
Yeah, you know, my mother has always been of the mindset. She's like, you work, because if you retire, you die. And I'm like, there are some people like that. I mean, Carl knows.
I've known people like that.
People, Charles Schultz, for example, I think he retired and the next day he died.
Yeah.
You know, and my mother's like, there's your proof right there. But I'm like,
yeah.
I really do believe that if we can develop other things that are truly for us, you know, and not in the service of others, you know, to be a little bit selfish. Yes, to be a little bit selfish.
Yeah, you have to.
You know, to develop those things so that you can keep yourself occupied. And it's one of the things where I think when things had started to shut down, I felt like I was okay. I know Donna and Carl, you guys were okay, you know, and so, you know, we became more available online to help other people who were struggling, who didn't know what to do, because that was their mindset, was just work, work, work. And then all of a sudden it's like, I don't have this option. What do I do? You know, and not go insane. I mean, we could already be insane, but that's okay. We're good kind of insane.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying my insanity. It's
yeah. Daphne Lage is tuning in. Hello. She says, I seriously believe that I was able to get through lockdown pretty much unscathed because I was able to keep busy and entertain myself the entire time. Yeah. And that's true. I mean, I actually had a friend of mine. She's so active. I mean, she does like all of the Spartan races and things like that. And she's busy, always on the go, always moving, always talking. And it makes her very uncomfortable to be quiet.
Yeah. She would get along well with my brother. He's like that. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, for as long as she could take him.
But it was really, really hard. For people,
for some people, my father worked pretty much up until the last 2 years of his life, and he'd had a heart condition since he was 9 years old. He had spent a year or so in bed, had to learn how to walk all over. Don't talk to me about Mayo Clinic, because Mayo Clinic told him, go ahead, you go home, you're going to be dead by the time you're 25.
Wow.
And 2 young sons, and you're going to be dead by the time you're 25. He was 30 when they adopted me. He was 55 when they put the pig valves in his heart. And the first time since he was 9 that he did not have pain in his chest. He was 12 years later. Pig valves were only supposed to last 10 years. His lasted 12, and they put a mechanical valve in his heart. And this man, after he got finished working...
Wow, we're off to the races now.
I'm impressed, dude. Man, he has a small dick. But he and Mom worked auctions and flea markets up until he couldn't anymore.
Yeah.
And went in for surgery, got a little nick, and took 2 weeks to bleed out and die.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah. But he died at 77 with 3 grown kids all married and 16 great grandchildren.
Never fucking give up. Never give up. I have a fucking healthy 12-year-old right now who I was told had less than a 5% chance of being born alive and would have no quality of life.
Ooh.
And he is an active, healthy, wild-ass boy.
You can't predict those things.
No. We were just lucky that we found a local they found a local doctor who said, I can't cure you, but maybe I can keep you alive until we can. And they did.
That's amazing. Awesome. Well, you guys, we are past our hour, and I know you've got an event.
I'm not rush the cool people.
I'm not rushing, but they've got things to do tonight.
We can come back another time if you like.
Absolutely. In fact, coming in 2022, we've got another show that we're going to be launching.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. Probably like a Sunday brunch kind of thing.
Ooh,
I used to have one of those shows.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
nice. A show called Sunday Brunch before it was robbed.
Before it was robbed. Yes, absolutely. So
there you go.
And you know what? It is going to be a lot of fun because we're just going to be talking shit and stuff like that. Don't want to talk about campaigns. We do that enough on RAGIN.
Yeah, I understand.
And things like that. And we do plenty of self-promotion and other promotional things and marketing.
That will be Meredith's
show,
by the way.
This is going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a rotation of guests and just people who want to just sit around and shoot the shit for an hour.
Water cooler.
Please, invite us on over. Yeah,
absolutely.
And for those cool members of your audience, we have the green room, which
Yes.
a lot of people do stop
tell about
by.
that, because that's where you have to skedaddle to.
Well, eventually.
Well, they've got to stop first.
Yeah,
They're very popular tonight.
There's another show we watch, and then I'm already getting all kinds of people sending me PMs. That ding, ding, ding you keep hearing. That's people saying, "Are you going to be in the green room? Is so and so going to be in the green room tonight? Who's going to be there?" Like, God, you people, calm down.
Let them
It's
know
2
that
hours.
you guys are my meat right now. They can have you a little bit.
But that's the thing. It's like, that's part of the entertainment and things like that, and part of the giving back that you have done. And I appreciate it because, we've all kind of been running around, staying occupied, doing our own thing as well. But the idea of being out there and being available to other people is really awesome. So for anybody who's tuning in, we do have the links to their Lulu.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yes. And so I've got a link for Carl. I did the search and found your books. We've also got Aunt Donna's link there. Please tell us about that. Why Lulu and not Amazon while I have you
That's
here?
a good question. I like the underdog, and I thought Lulu was the underdog at the time, and they've grown now. But it also gives me more control over how I price the books, because I was trying to price the books cheaper for people, and Lulu had the cheaper prices at the time. So I thought, I'm going to go with that because, that's the way I wanted to do it. And I'm not in this for the money. A little money's nice every once in a while, but, if you want to help somebody, there are people out there, you can buy their books and it'll help them a lot financially. Great. Good. Please do that. Okay. If you just want some entertainment, buy our books.
Yeah.
But we don't take a whole lot of money from them. Maybe a dollar from each book, because
it's about entertainment.
Yeah. And it entertains us to write them and to hear from people. And like the humor group, when someone who lost someone recently said, I want to thank you for that post you did today, because I was in a really bad funk and that post made me laugh for the first time, since so-and-so died. And I was like, wow, okay, I must be doing something right. And the alcoholic therapy we provide during the green room.
That's why I can't come to the green room.
You can. You don't have to drink. We don't make you drink.
That's also a testament of writing for the sake of writing, because it's something that you love, and not necessarily because you have to, but you want to.
Yeah.
Or maybe you really do have to, just to get the voices out of your head.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have to say the first 7 books of Hunter's Ridge were written in a year and a half.
Wow.
Because it was just coming so quick. And after I'd finished one, the characters would go, hey, wait a minute. We got an idea for something else. Another way to get BJ and Carly in trouble, especially Carly.
Yeah.
And so what are the things that we can look forward to seeing from you both in the near future?
Well, for me, it's going to be the return of the Mad Gasser cheerleader. And I think I'm going to call the other one Death and Love Down Under, the Australian book.
Okay. And I imagine my next publication will be we go back and forth between Beth and Hill and Hunter's Ridge. And then every once in a while, I'll throw in this one needs to be published sort of thing. That's how the Seduction of Lily Monroe came about. I said, this new one needs to go out.
Yeah.
And where, I didn't share your Facebook profiles. I probably can add that to the show notes and stuff like that. But where else can people find you? Do you have a website? I don't recall.
No. Just on Facebook.
Facebook and Lulu.
We're old and unmotivated. So. I leave that for the younger folks that are trying to build their career and they're trying to start something up. And yeah, good. Build a website, get in there, get on Twitter, all that stuff, do all the right things. Us, yeah, we're more relaxed about it because we don't care.
And for those who are not easily offended, tell us a little bit more about the secret group. And
okay.
Excuse me, is it open for everybody?
No.
Well, no. You can, if you know somebody on this page right here, then you're probably okay. So you could probably join and ask them. And if they say, no, you wouldn't like it, then move along. You're better off. But if you are the kind of dark humor, slightly perverted, mostly perverted kind of person that would like some good humor in your life, then yeah, ask about it and get to know us. And
Let me put it this way:
friend me on Facebook, and I'll say, okay, friend me and ask me to be in the humor group, and they'll friend me, and then they're like, that's enough.
Wow.
Let me put it this way: if LED butt plugs offend you, you cannot come into the secret humor group.
Now, there was a thing that you did for me, Uncle Karl. This was about a year ago with the whole giantess thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about compiling all of those crazy, wild, wacky things into just an entertainment book?
You mean like print those out and put those in a... Because we had Giant Meredith, the cheerleader, fighting the murder hornet by whipping her long hair around. And yeah.
Yes, that was amazing. Why haven't you published that yet? That was art.
It was. I wouldn't say good art, but it was art. Yeah.
All right, Mary, you said you wanted to let them go. They got stuff to do, yo.
Oh, that's okay. We appreciate being here. So, and we would be glad to come back.
We have passed the 1 hour mark, and we are going to let you guys go. So if you want to let people know what you're doing one more time, where they can find you, we've got the link in the show notes for their Lulu.
Yeah.
So go buy their books. Maybe Uncle Karl, maybe we'll talk about geriatric Pokemon another time.
Yes. We'll have a whole show dedicated to that and how I got Donna roped in.
Damn badges.
I was roped in, and then I moved away, and all of this stuff that I was, all the posts and things that I was finding my munsies on are quite a distance away. So it's like, oh, okay, I'm not feeling that walk today.
We'll work on that.
Stop talking. I can hear you straining.
All right, fine.
No, serious.
On that note, you guys, we have been talking to Uncle Karl and Aunt Donna. It's 24/7, folks. And we did totally swipe this picture because it's awesome. Make sure that you go check them out. Check them out on Lulu. Check them out on Facebook. And, of course, tune in, watch the replay. Hit the button, share their books, buy their books, read their books, review their books. Hey, there's a concept. And on that note, we're out of here. Oh, you know what? I got to drop the card again. We need you guys to say, throw my dudes.
Throw my dudes.
Go, dudes.
Yeet.
We're out here, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye. Hey there. This is Meredith Loughran with RAGIN. And I wanted to let you know that we encourage and promote independent creators and their projects through organic interaction, consultations, and more. Visit Nita and me at RAGINAVC.com for details and contact information.